Good evening. Regular council meeting for the City of Coppers Cove held January 20th, 2026 is called to order at 6 o'clock p.m. Please stand for the invocation by Ms. Hart, second, and followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
If you could please bow with me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we just want to say thank you for your covering, your tender loving care during this time for our community. We ask that you continue to be with us, the families and the communities, for our fallen friend, Officer Elijah Garrison. Continue to be with us as we make these important decisions for our community. Continue the blessings that you bestow on our community, and continue to guide us each and every day with the things that are so important with us in our lives, and continue to provide peace and comfort within our community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge to our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please be seated. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mary Yancey.
Here.
Christina Strophus. Rita Hogan. Here. Howard Hawk.
Here.
John Hale.
Here.
Del Treadway.
Here.
Anya Hart.
Here.
Jack Smith.
Here.
All right, we move to item D, announcements.
None for me, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
None for me, sir.
None, Mr. Mayor.
Ryan, you have any?
Yes, sir. First and foremost, I want to tell our community, thank you for respecting and honoring Officer Elijah Garrison. Many of our community came out and supported his family and honored him in many various ways. And for honoring our police officers and our leadership in the police department. Our honor guard and the command staff within the police department did a phenomenal job of coordinating and arranging for a service that truly respected Elijah Garrison. And so I just want to say thank you, and Mayor and Council, thank y'all for your support of our team in order to do what they accomplished this past week and this weekend. I do have a few others, Mayor. This Friday on January 23rd, we are swearing in and pinning our new fire chief, Douglas Mathajets. He goes by Doug, but that will be occurring on Friday at 10 a.m. here in the council chambers, and everybody is welcome to come celebrate his swearing in. His official first day is actually going to be on the 26th of January, so it'll be next Monday. We have the MLK Day of Service. This will be, it was planned for this Saturday with the upcoming winter weather that is going to be upon us, and I encourage everybody to be prepared for this weekend. Not be scared, but just be prepared. But the MLK Day of Service will be moved to January 31st at 9 a.m. at City Park, and that will be for a cleanup in coordination with the Coppers Cove Police Department. On January 31st is the rescheduled Polar Bear Plunge. Jeff, you didn't want to do it on Saturday? You didn't? No. Polar.
It's
Polar
another Saturday.
Bear. Okay. And then also on January 31st is the Chambers Gala Night. It's where they're presenting the Chamber Awards. So January 31st from 5 to 10:30 p.m. at the Civic Center. Tickets are required, and you go to copperscove.com, which is the Chamber's website, to obtain those tickets. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have nothing, sir. Thank you.
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
No announcements, sir.
No announcements.
All right. We move to item E, Citizens Forum.
At this time, citizens will be allowed to speak for a length of time not to exceed 5 minutes per person on any item which is listed on the agenda and items not listed on the agenda. 30 minutes total has been allotted for this section. Pursuant to Section 551.042 of the Texas Open Meetings Act, any deliberation or decision about the subject of inquiry which is not listed on the agenda shall be limited to a proposal to place the subject on the agenda for a subsequent meeting.
All right, does anyone wish to speak during Citizens Forum? Again, anyone wish to speak during Citizens Forum? All right, we will close that, move to item F, Consent Agenda.
All matters listed under this item are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Item 1, consideration and action on approval of City Council workshop meeting minutes for January 6, 2026. Lisa Wilson, City Secretary. Item 2, consideration and action on approval of City Council regular meeting minutes for January 6, 2026. Lisa Wilson, City Secretary. Item 3, consideration and action on resolution number 2026-2, authorizing and supporting the Chief of Police in the submission of a grant application and other related mandatory documents to the Office of the Governor, Public Safety Office, Criminal Justice Division for the FY 2027 Project Safe Neighborhoods Grant Program, Gabriel Cardona, Police Captain. Item 4, consideration and action on resolution number 2026-3, resolution number 2026-4, and resolution number 2026-5, authorizing and supporting the Chief of Police in the submission of a grant application and other related mandatory documents to the Office of the Governor, Public Safety Office, Criminal Justice Division for the Criminal Justice Grant Program's FY 2027 Justice Assistance Grant Program, Gabriel Cardona, Police Captain. Item 5, consideration and action on authorizing the mayor to enter into a local agreement with the Central Texas Emergency Communications District for 911 Public Safety Answering Point Services. Jeremy Alber, Deputy Chief of Police. Item 6, consideration and action to authorize the city manager to enter into a business associate agreement with Centex RAC. Stephen R. Clendenin, Deputy Fire Chief. Item 7, consideration and action authorizing the city manager to execute change order number 1 to the city's Northwest Wastewater Treatment Plant Ultraviolet Improvements Project contract with Matus Construction Limited. Chris Altott, Assistant Director of Public Works.
All right, council, you have 7 items for the consent agenda. Is there any item you wish to consider, pull and consider separately? All right, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve consent agenda items F1 through 7 as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Hale, second by Ms. Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We move to item G, public hearings.
A governmental body shall allow each member of the public who desires to address the body regarding an item on an agenda for an open meeting of the body to address the body regarding the item at the meeting before or during the body's consideration of the item. Item 1, public hearing and action on ordinance number 2026-4, amending Chapter 3, Articles 1 through 13, Sections 3-1 through 3-145 to the City of Coppersville Code of Ordinances, regulating microchipping, animals at large, and renaming the animal shelter. Jeremy Alber, Deputy Chief of Police.
The time is 6:09. We will open the public hearing.
Mayor, Council, and City Manager. With the passing of the bond for the new shelter, city staff recommended that we change the name of the shelter to more align with what actually takes place at the shelter, to care for the animals, not just shelter them. Additionally, with the change in the name of the shelter, we also found that there were some other areas we could clean things up just a little bit. Previously, the cats were kind of left out of animals at large. So this would bring cats back into being part of the animals at large in the ordinance, and additionally, making it so that we have to microchip all dogs and cats. And microchipping all dogs and cats will enhance public safety, improve animal welfare, reduce taxpayer costs associated with stray animals, and modernize local animal control practices. The Animal Shelter Advisory Committee supports city staff's recommendation of adopting the ordinances requiring all dogs and cats within the city limits to be microchipped. So these amendments to the ordinances are to facilitate those changes. So city staff recommends the city council hold a public hearing and take action on ordinance number 2026-4, amending chapter 3, animals and fowl, articles 1 through 13, sections 3-1 through 3-145 of the City of Copperas Cove Code of Ordinances.
Thank you, Jeremy. Council, you have any comments, questions? Okay. Is there anybody in the audience wishes to address this public hearing? All right, the time is 6:12. We will close the public hearing. Council, is there action to be taken on this item?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I do have a couple of questions. I apologize that I didn't do them in order.
it's kind of.
What other cities close to us have microchipping?
Colleen does, mandatory microchipping, and then it gets into the larger cities. San Antonio, Austin, San Marcos, Waco, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, all have mandatory microchipping.
Right now, we have a policy that if a dog or a cat is found at large, we make them get microchipped before we release them back to the owner.
That's actually state law. State law requires that the animal be microchipped before it's released from the shelter.
Okay, thank you.
So this would just facilitate that as well. The ultimate goal there is to keep the animals from going into a shelter environment. If an animal control officer finds an animal at large, they can run it for a microchip. There's a high probability that they can get that animal back to its house. It doesn't save the citizen from the repercussions of having an animal at large. However, it does save the animal from being housed in a shelter or in an environment that it's not used to.
I would like to just to state a few things. I do have concerns with this. I understand what's being presented as a need for our community. I just know that there's other options that we can look for. That's something that we can go over with maybe the advisory committee or other things that we can explore in regards to that. So I don't feel comfortable at this time, basically saying yes to this, until we can talk more about the other options that are out there. If we are able to microchip when we do find them, then I guess my question is why are we going to put it on the owner in order as a mandatory requirement? And I just believe that something like that should be more of a personal decision. But it's not that I am ignorant to what is going on in Copperas Cove. I just know with some of the things that are going on, there could be other options in order to address it. And that's where I'm.
So standard practice is to microchip an animal that's over 6 weeks of age. We do have a veterinarian on the Animal Shelter Advisory Committee. She recommends that all animals be microchipped. We did have initially in the ordinance, we had that it had to be either microchip or tattooed. The only other acceptable way of identifying an animal is via the tags. And currently, we do have a tag ordinance that the person has to pay for a tag every 2 years. With a microchip ordinance, the person would pay for a microchip one time, and they would never pay again.
I'm sorry?
I said we can.
Did you want to try to table?
I would like to table. I think I would like the opportunity to speak about more of these options that are available, rather than putting this in right now. Is there any way that you can split this up with the other two articles that are up for consideration with pulling just this one.
So, Mrs. Hart, you're considering approving the ordinance excluding the changes in microchipping
Yes,
that is in the drafted ordinance, correct?
correct.
Okay, so
Which is-
I'm gonna defer real quickly to our city attorney and ask our city attorney for some guidance on that action regarding whether those changes should be made in this action tonight or to table the entire discussion and bring it back for action once the ordinance can actually be revised.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I recommend a motion that will bring back the shipping elements to a date certain, because this involves a public hearing. If you will pick a date, then you don't have to renotice the whole thing and start from scratch. And then do a separate motion for the naming of the shelter, so you can approve the ordinance for that component, but then bring back the other item on a date certain.
Bring back the microchipping specifically.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Another item is including cats and at-large animals too, that's on this, which I'm fine with, and I believe she's fine with, but
Yeah, if I'm understanding, everything on here is okay except for the microchipping
Correct.
element, which would like to be excluded and then put on a
Right.
future agenda item.
Yes, and from what I'm hearing from the city attorney, we have to set a specific date. Is that the next meeting, February 3rd? Okay, we could do that.
Okay.
Oh, so I'll make the motion, okay. Okay, I make a motion that we table, I'm on the wrong.
Wait a minute.
Jeremy, do you know what
How should I motion? this?
chapter
I'll make the
and
motion.
verse that we're
Thank you.
excluding the change?
It is section 3-43.1A.
Yes,
I'll make the motion for Vanya.
Okay.
I'd like to make the motion that we approve this item, ordinance number 2026-4, with the striking of section 3-43.1A, microchipping of animals.
I second it.
And Mayor, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mayor, if I can get clarification on that motion, because the way the motion was just made, and the city attorney can correct me, but you just struck all of the microchipping portion
No,
of the
I said
ordinance.
A. I said A, which is a subsection of that
Yeah,
section 3 dash, or I don't want to strike the whole section, I just want to strike A.
can we just exclude the recommended revisions for that section? And I think Chief Wilson has something to add.
Yeah, I was trying to get in before any motion was made, just for consideration. And I think it's cleaner if we just do it all at once, as long as we're not looking for a future date that's months and months away. I think just for the city secretary's side of having it recodified more than once, the costs that are associated with that, I think it'd be more efficient if we're gonna push it down the road for a little more education or whatever the council would like to do, that we just do all three items at one time and not just segment it for this piece and then the other piece later on.
So would first meeting in March be enough time?
I was actually good with sometime in February. I don't think it's going to take that.
Go ahead.
If I can, I just need direction then on what the microchipping, what alternative there is that I need to explore. We've explored the ways in which an animal can be identified, and that's the three ways: tattooing, microchipping, and then actual tags.
Tags.
So what other, I would need to know what other information you would want.
Okay. want me to- One of the options I was looking at is microchipping events here for the city through nonprofit organizations. That would be one.
So implementation, once this ordinance passes, the implementation will take time. We're not going to run around and just start issuing citations to people for their animals not being microchipped. We would do low-cost microchipping events where the city would actually provide the microchip and actually do the microchipping for the people. And then every time that your animal goes to the vet, your veterinarian would have the opportunity to do a microchip there as well. Now, the city can do the microchips. A microchip costs about $10 to purchase. We typically buy them for $10. We sell them for $20. We would do it for the cost of the microchip for the beginning of this program. If you take your animal to the vet and have a microchip done there, you're gonna pay $40 or $50. So the city's we're looking at it as an entity to get people into compliance and then look to enforce it. So we're looking at over a year from now, before the ordinance is really enforced, where we start actually issuing citations for those animals.
And I think I feel more comfortable with just doing the events without the mandate until a later time. It's just my opinion on it. I'm only one.
Well, you're gonna have, either you are or you're not.
Yeah, so we need something to drive the people there. When we do microchipping events with the shot clinics that we currently do, we don't have turnout because there's no incentive for people to get their animals microchipped. If the ordinance says that an animal has to be microchipped, and we do the shot clinic, and we have the ability to do the microchipping there, then we have incentive for people to actually do it.
How much is the ticket?
I don't know.
For not getting a microchip?
It would be up to the court at that point. I don't know.
More than $10?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
If I could say something, I don't think that DC is mainly talking about finding. He is talking about keeping these animals from on the street. And if you microchip that animal, and instead of bringing that animal into the shelter, I think microchipping is a great avenue to go. If we table this and come back in every amount of months you're talking about, and we come back, is it gonna be the same thing we're talking about right now? I'm kind of confused right now. Let's go ahead and approve this ordinance. It's gonna say animals that are going into the shelter. And I don't think anyone will be against it, so I just want a little clarity, Mayor Pro Tem, why we shouldn't approve this item tonight.
What I'm saying is that there are a lot of different opinions in regards to this particular issue, and I'm trying to respect all of that. That's basically what I'm saying in regards to mandating something, whereas there's other opinions where people just don't want to be able to do that with their family pets, and they're considered members, and some people do not feel comfortable with that, and people have multiple pets, and now you're increasing it even if it is even if the costs are very low. But I know that there are free events that we can be able to offer. I understand about incentives, but can we look at other incentives? Or if it has been looked at, then what other incentives has there been to bring there? Because from what I'm hearing is a lot of this is because of animals being abandoned, and sometimes because of the military, because of them going overseas, or PCS moves. These are one of what has been explained to me. But there are other avenues that we can explore in order to address that issue, just that specific issue. Because microchipping, even though you can put a microchip in, doesn't mean that the owner's gonna be responsible to update that information. And if we bring it with the military, and if it's a PCS move, then we're not going to be able to locate that military person anyway. So I'm hearing these reasonings for the microchipping, but I'm just not fully on board with it because of, those are just a few.
Just one more. That's my biggest issue with the citizens and residents here in this city. They'll express their concern, they comment through the public. But if they come to where it's being presented, which is here at the chamber, and hear the presenter who present that information, then I think we can stop a lot of, things that the citizens don't want. So that's all I got.
Jack?
Mr. Mayor, I'm not against microchipping. I am against mandating it. I'm all for microchipping. I think everybody should have a microchip on their animals. But there's also people that their dog stays in their house, goes out in the backyard, comes back in. They're responsible pet owners, and it's just adding another fee or a requirement that we're just adding another layer of requirements on responsible people. And irresponsible people aren't gonna get them microchipped even with the requirement.
So right now, do we have a requirement to at least have a tag?
Yes.
And how many people actually do that?
The vet requires people to purchase the tags from the vet.
How many people take their animals to the vet? Do we know?
I don't know. I don't have that number.
I don't know if anybody would know that.
So I just recently did the end of month numbers and actually for the end of the year, and we had over 1,200 tags sold through the veterinarians and close to about 600 tags sold through the shelter for the rabies. Whenever a person got their pets, the rabies vaccination, that's whenever they purchased. So you're looking at less than 2,000 tags purchased, city registration for your pets purchased in a year. And thank you.
So there's always going to be a group of people that are non-compliant. Speed limits have been established for hundreds of years, and people are still speeding, right? So there's always going to be people that are non-compliant. Our goal is to bring people into compliance so that they can get their dog back. I understand the statement that, Fluffy stays in the backyard. Well, that happens a lot too, where Fluffy stays in the backyard until Fluffy doesn't stay in the backyard. And then animal control ends up picking up the animal, and animal control can't bring it to its home. If the animal is microchipped, then the animal gets home. To address the military issue is going to be a military issue regardless. And microchipping is not here to solve that. Microchipping is here to get people's pets back to their home.
Right.
It's nothing more than that. The way that city tags work right now, we get a tag, we try to find an owner. It's a needle in a haystack kind of thing. And if the person doesn't come into the shelter within 3 days, the animal becomes a part of the city anyway. And then we try to adopt the animal out to another home where we microchip the animal at that point.
So the microchipping of the animals would facilitate animal control just taking the animal back to the home rather than to the shelter?
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
So we would really save a lot of money and time in taking it home versus taking it to the shelter and then having it sit there for 3 days and now we own it.
I believe so, yes.
Which if it was in the shelter, then it would be mandated.
Yes.
Okay, council, what do you want to do?
I say we vote on it. As is.
You want to, well, let's see.
Mayor, you have a motion and a second. I believe the motion, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Smith, is to approve the ordinance striking section 3-43.1A.
Yes, and bring that back at a later time.
And my position on that is by simply striking A does not alleviate the rest of the changes to the ordinance, which then leaves out a critical section of the ordinance, which no longer makes sense with all of the other changes that are adopted at that point, because there are exceptions and references back to A in other portions of the ordinance. So I would have a concern with council adopting it as motioned at this point.
Okay. So, Jack, you
I-
made the motion.
Well, I read that and it kind of stands all by itself. 3-43-.1A stands by itself. The rest of it doesn't go back to that. It just says.
Yeah, section C refers back to section A. Section D refers back to section B, but if there's no section A, then the structure of our ordinance is no longer logical at that point. And so it's, by striking one section of a revised ordinance can cause unintended consequences.
Okay.
And I'd be concerned about that.
Do you want to make the motion? Continue with the motion and ask for a second? Or withdraw?
Do we have a second already?
Yes, the second was Ms. Hart. And I would actually agree with Chief Wilson's recommendation just to table the entire discussion to a very near future date. And we can
I
sit
would be
down
okay with that too.
with council to
Well, we-
discuss the concerns that you'll have.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, so we would need to
Withdraw the motion.
withdraw the motion.
Okay, I'll withdraw my motion to strike.
Can you withdraw your second?
And I withdraw my second.
Okay,
And I
Now-
make a motion that we move this to February 3rd.
okay.
Would that be enough time?
I don't think so.
Mr. Mayor,
I
council.
said the first meeting in March. Seems like,
Yeah.
that sounds like, gives us
Okay,
enough.
then I'll withdraw mine and make a motion that we move it to March 3rd.
Okay,
Second.
motion made to table to March 3rd. A second by Mr. Treadway. Did you have anything, Howard?
If we come back February 3rd, I think we're gonna be at, March 3rd, we're gonna be where we at now. The DC, the deputy chief, did a great presentation. And I understand the opinion on the diocese about microchipping. But microchipping is gonna help the animal control, it's gonna help residents, and it's gonna help to get that pet back to his owner. I heard the word Fluffy. Fluffy be in the house all the time. And the DC said, well, just in case Fluffy get out. If I'm owner Fluffy, I want to get Fluffy back to me as soon as I can. If he's microchipped, then Fluffy gonna come back home. He won't go to that kennel and get stressed out.
Okay, so there's a motion to table to March 3rd. Is that the right meet? Is that the date?
Yes.
Motion made in a second. Any other discussion? Okay, voting on tabling to March 3rd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay, roll call.
Christina Strophus,
Nay.
Rita Hogan,
Yes.
Nay?
so Mr. Hawk, nay.
Aye.
John Hale,
Aye.
Del Treadway,
Aye.
Vanya Hart,
Aye.
Jack Smith,
Aye.
5-2.
Okay, so it's tabled, this item is tabled to March 3rd, I believe.
Just a quick question. Do we bring that back in the form of a second public hearing and action?
I would think so.
Based on what our city attorney said, we do not need to bring that back as a public hearing, to publish it as a public hearing.
Okay, thank you.
Do not need to publish, but put it on the agenda for public input.
Okay. All right. Clear as mud. Here we move. So we move to item, to agenda item H, action items. We're going to go a little bit out of order, and we're going to push item 6 to number 1.
Consideration and action on the appointment of a mayor pro tem to serve for a period of 1 year and who shall act as mayor during the absence or disability of the mayor. Dan D. Yancey, Mayor.
Okay? Thank you. We always have a mayor pro tem to act on my behalf, on the mayor's behalf if the mayor cannot attend. And that doesn't happen very often, but it does happen from time to time. I think for my part, Ms. Hart served as mayor pro tem last year and did a very admirable job, but that's just my opinion. So I would take action from council.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to renominate Madam Mayor Pro Tem Vanya Hart as Madam Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll second.
I'll third.
Mr. Mayor,
Boy, everybody wants to exclude themselves real quick.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to close the nominations and vote on Vanya.
Okay? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Don't do it. Okay, all right. Thank you for that.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Madam Pro Tem.
I just want to say thank you to my council members for nominating me. It's an honor to serve, and I'm very grateful to continue to serve. Thank you.
Okay. All right, now we go back up to item 1.
Consideration and action on the evaluation and reappointment of Municipal Court Associate Judge Habib Erkan Jr., including authorization for the mayor to renew a professional judicial services contract. Juanita Epperson, Court Administrator.
I was about to do it for you, Juanita.
Busted. All right, here we go. In Rotary meeting, that'd be a fine, but
Good evening, City Mayor, City Manager, City Council. The City of Copperas Cove designated Habib Erkan Jr. as the Municipal Court Associate Judge on January 16th, 2024 for a 2-year term. In accordance with Chapter 29 of the Texas Government Code and City Chapter 5.03 of the City Council, will conduct an annual required evaluation of the Associate Judge and consider reappointment. Approval of this item will also include authorization for the mayor to renew the professional judicial service contract with Habib Erkan Jr. In accordance with Section 005 of the Texas Government Code, Chapter 29, it is stipulated that the judge of the municipal court holds office for a 2-year term unless the municipality opts for a more extended term as per Article 11, Section 11 of the Texas Constitution. A municipal court judge not reappointed within 91 days following the term's expiration in the absence of action by the appointing authority will automatically serve another term commencing on the day the previous term expired. City Charter Section 5.03 mandates an annual evaluation of the municipal judge by the mayor and city council, with each council member and mayor signing the assessment. To facilitate the process, an evaluation form is provided for use by the governing body. A professional judicial service contract is also attached. City staff recommends that the governing body evaluate the municipal court associate judge as required by Section 5.03 of the City Charter. Staff further recommends that the governing body take one of the following 2 actions on the reappointment of the municipal court associate judge. 1, reappoint Habib Erkan Jr. for another 2-year term and authorize the mayor to renew the professional judicial service contract. Or 2, remove Habib Erkan Jr. as the municipal court associate judge.
all right, council. Mr. Erkan, would you like to come up and defend yourself?
judge the last 2 years, and if appointed, I'd be glad to serve the next 2 years. I was thinking about what, it was like 40 years ago, I was hired as a prosecutor by Lloyd Garza, and he told me that when you come to municipal court, most people in the city, that's their only point of contact with the city. And always treat them with respect and be professional. And those are words I've always lived by. And so if you appoint me, I'd be honored to serve another two-year term.
Wait a minute.
Any questions?
Yes. Questions? Rude comments? Dale,
I'm good, Mayor.
you hit your buzzer.
I'm good.
Okay.
Just a thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, council, is there action to be taken on this item?
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I make a motion that we reappoint Habib Erkan Jr. for another 2-year term and authorize the mayor to renew the professional judicial service contract.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Hale, seconded by Ms. Strophus. Any other discussion?
I was reading over here.
So, I've lost complete control of this place. All right. Let's start over again. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed?
Mayor,
Yes.
if we can take maybe just a couple of minutes recess so we can sign the documents for the reappointment of Associate Judge Erkan and sign the contract. Time is something that we need to achieve this. Appreciate it. Thank you, Judge Erkan.
Don't need that. All right. Thank you, council. We will move on to item H2.
Consideration and action on approval of ordinance number 2026-3, amending the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget for the city of Coppers Cove. Ariana Beckman, Director of Budget.
Good evening, council, mayor, city manager, and everyone in the audience and those listening. The budget amendment before you is one of the largest amendments. It amends several of our funds, as you see in the screen in front of you. As noted on the agenda, several purchase orders and other commitments remained open at the last fiscal year, which was fiscal year 24-25, and they were carried into this current year, which is 25-26. However, the unused budget for those commitments does not automatically carry forward, so we have to bring that VI budget amendment. The details of all these changes are included in the agenda item, but if you have any specific questions, we can address those. But with that being said, The general fund requires an overall expenditure increase of $1,306,694. Water and sewer fund requires an overall expenditure increase of $1,078,489. Solid waste fund will require an overall expenditure increase of $1,742,950. Tax interest and sinking fund, which is our debt service fund, will increase in expenditures in the amount of $3,851. The drainage fund will increase their overall expenditures by $213,447. Street maintenance fund will require an overall expenditure increase of $158,112. Hotel occupancy tax fund will require an overall expenditure increase of $120,276. Park improvement funds will require an overall expenditure increase of $72,559. The remaining are donation funds, which are specific to every department. So the donations for police will require an overall expenditure increase of $29,626. Donations for animal control will require an expenditure increase of $22,123. Donations for fire department requires an overall expenditure increase of $7,396. Donations for parks, an overall expenditure increase of $28,551. Donations for the library department requires an overall expenditure increase of $3,245. KCCB donations require an overall expenditure increase of $4,817. Golf course donations, an expenditure increase of $49,011. Donations for non-departmental, which does not fit in any other department, requires an overall expenditure increase of $5,549. So that concludes the donations. The grants for police department require an increase in revenues and expenditures in the amount of $522,198. And the last fund there is the Five Hills Pageant Fund, requires an overall expenditure increase of $41,357. So staff's recommendation is that you approve the attached ordinance amending current budget 25-26 as presented.
Council, we have questions for Ms. Beckman? Yes.
Ms. Beckman, so to explain it to everybody else, those funds are already in the budget? We're just taking the expenditures and putting them over there now. Is that correct?
They were included in last year's
Yeah.
budget. So we have different projects and funding commitments that were not fully completed last fiscal year. So we're just not bringing in the funding in this fiscal year. So we can purchase the equipment or finish the project or whatever the
Yeah,
case
it's not
is.
new expenditures.
That's correct.
Okay, that's
Right.
just wanted,
Yes.
just wanted to be clear. Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions? Comments? Okay. Is there a motion on this item?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2026-3, amending the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget.
I second.
Motion made by Mr. Hale, seconded by Mr. Treadway, I believe. Okay, any other questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We move to item H3.
Consideration and action on resolution number 2026-6, establishing the population of the city of Coppers Cove, Texas as of January 1st, 2026. Bobby Lewis, Development Services Director.
Mayor and Council, as of January 1st, 2025, the Texas State Demographer estimated the city population at 40,393 persons. By adding 1,276 persons from new residential construction activities, there is now a new population estimate of 669 persons as of January 1st, 2026. This new estimate shows that the city's population growth has grown 13.63% over the last 5 years. With that, city staff recommends adoption of resolution number 2026-6, establishing the city's population of the city of Coppers Cove, Texas, to be 41,669 persons as of January 1st, 2026.
All right. Questions for Mr. Lewis? Okay. Is there a motion be made on this item?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve resolution number 2026-6, establishing the estimated population of the city of Coppers Cove to be 41,669 persons as of January 1st, 2026.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Hale, seconded by Ms. Hogan. Any other questions? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. We move to item H4.
Consideration and action on authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with the Hill Country Community Action Association, leasing the building located at 2400 Walker Place Boulevard in the city of Coppers Cove. Jeff Stoddard, Director of Parks and Recreation.
Thank you, Lisa. Mayor, Council, we're almost to the finish line. So we're projecting the building to be completed at the end of this month with the finals and the COOs happening in the first part of February. HCCAA will continue to operate the day-to-day operations of the senior center. They'll also be providing other services out of that facility, such as aging services, weatherization, and energy assistance. City staff recommends the city council authorize the city manager to enter into a 5-year lease agreement between Hill Country Community Action Association and the city for 2400 Walker Place Boulevard within the city of Coppers Cove. And I believe Ms. Ashley Johnson is here from HCCAA if you have any questions for her on the operations.
Okay. Council, any questions? Okay. Is there a motion to be made on this item?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I make a motion that we authorize the city manager to enter into a 5-year lease agreement between the Hill Country Community Action Association and the city for 2400 Walker Place Boulevard within the city of Coppers Cove.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Hale, seconded by Mr. Treadway. Any other discussion? Right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Jeff.
Let's see, we move to item H5.
Consideration and action authorizing the city manager to execute a professional services agreement with APGN Inc. for the asset management and maintenance service plan for the Northwest Wastewater Treatment Plant blowers. Chris Altott, Assistant Director of Public Works.
Thank you, Lisa. Good evening, Council, Mayor, City Manager. The item before you is for, as Lisa stated, the asset management and maintenance service plan proposed for the Northwest Wastewater Treatment Plant blowers. These blowers provide a critical part of the treatment process. They supply air to the microorganisms in that treatment process. These blowers specifically were replaced as part of an upgrade that the city completed in 2016. At that time, the blowers were rated to last between 8 to 10 years from the manufacturer. When I say rated, the blower is a larger enclosure, but inside that blower there's electrical components and a blower core. That blower core, like I stated before, is rated for 8 to 10 years. We're approaching 9, we're just over 9 years right now. The time is coming for these to start being replaced, just like any other piece of equipment that's running all the time. During that upgrade, we received some pretty significant efficiencies when we upgraded to these blowers. These blowers allowed for 30 to 50% reduction on the electricity costs for the treatment plant at the Northwest plant. That is the equivalent of roughly between $13,000 and $15,000 per month since they've been in service. So quick math on it is over $1 million in savings of electricity costs since they've been in service. With that said, the blowers themselves, as they're reaching the end of life, we have included in our operating funds $80,000 per year to replace the blower core itself. That does not include any of the ancillary, the control panel, the VFD, other electrical components that, as you all know, when you have any kind of component, the electrical computer, they become obsolete or they quit working over a period of time and need to be replaced. This service plan provides two different sides to it. The first is that the actual manufacturer will come out and inspect and do maintenance on these blowers twice per year. The other element to this is the increased warranty of these blowers. These blowers originally came with a 2-year warranty period for after they were installed and placed into service. At this time, this plan itself would increase that warranty for the duration of the plan. With that, it includes items such as the blower core, control panels, any electrical system upgrades, the variable frequency drive, multiple things. Roughly all of those items per blower, there's 4 blowers, they're roughly about $136,000 for each blower. The plan itself is, let's see here, $61,800 per year. $61,870 per year for a period of 10 years, and would increase that warranty for that period. Let's see here. Okay. Currently, the city's wastewater treatment plant, Northwest Wastewater Treatment Plant, has experienced 1 blower out of service during this period of time. Currently, we've spent roughly on electrical components outside of the blower core. It was $33,000 for an electrical upgrade, $15,000 for an MCP, $14,000 for a blower diagnostic and a rental, and then $9,000 for ancillary other costs. So roughly around $60,000 that we've already spent. The blower core that's in the blower now is a rental core, and as part of this agreement, the APG Neuros will be allowing us to keep that core, and that core will remain in the blower, so it will not need to be removed again and replaced again, and that would be covered as part of the warranty of this project, of this plan itself. So right out the gate, we are, the first year is covered in essence by that initial expense that we would experience otherwise. The other thing to consider is in our operating funds right now, we are including an expenditure of $80,000 for a blower core every year. And so this gives us a predictable cost, which is less and would actually be a net reduction in the operating fund costs of $18,130 per year. So we would have a reduction in the overall operations budget. With that said, I'm available for any questions, and city staff recommends that the city council authorize the city manager to execute a professional service agreement with APGN Incorporated for the asset management and maintenance plan for the Northwest Wastewater Treatment Plant blowers in the amount of $61,870 annually for a period of 10 years.
Thank you, Chris. Council, you have questions for Chris? Good presentation. All right. Any action be taken?
Mr. Mayor, I
Yes.
make a motion to authorize the city manager to execute a professional service agreement with APGN Incorporated for the assessment management and maintenance plan for the Northwest Wastewater Treatment Plant blowers in amount of $61,870 annual for a period of 10 years, accumulating a total of $618,700.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Treadway, seconded by Ms. Strophus. Any other questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, we've already taken care of item 6, so we move to item 7.
Consideration and action on establishing a charter review committee. Ryan Haverlas, City Manager.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilson. Mayor and council, it has been a while since we've had a charter review committee, and that is actually dictated by state law. The city can only change its charter or propose to change its charter every 2 years. And typically in the past, city council has established charter committees to review the charter. Those committees are typically made up of citizens of the community that city council approves, and then a couple of city council liaisons to that committee. I have reviewed state law, I've looked at our charter, I've looked at the previous discussions that occurred, and the amendments that were presented by city council to our voters for consideration. At this time, I do not see a significant compelling reason to have a charter review committee, but that should not necessarily persuade you from not establishing a committee to review the charter. But again, it's really completely up to city council if you would like to have that charter review committee. With that, staff's recommendation is to discuss it, and if you so wish to create that committee, and then I'll ask you some more details of how you want that committee to be formed, if that's the direction you want to go.
All right. Council, any recommendations? So right now, you're saying that there's not a compelling reason to form the committee. The last time we did it, we made a considerable amount of changes which were related to corrections, updates.
And state law preemptions and all of those, yes.
Okay.
I say that there's no compelling reason to recommend changes to the charter based on state law changes that have occurred since the last time the charter was reviewed. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's not a compelling reason to have the committee.
Right.
Because citizen engagement is always positive, so.
All right, council, what's your pleasure? Yes, no, maybe?
I tend to agree with Ryan. They updated it to comply with all the state mandates just, 2 years ago. And it was voted on in November of '24, if I'm not mistaken.
November of '23.
November of '23, okay. I'm okay, just so the citizens know that anyone can petition to change the charter. It just takes 2.5% of the qualified registered voters in the city.
Anyone see a compelling reason to reestablish the Charter Review Committee?
I do not.
Okay,
Not at this time.
Mr. Mayor.
okay. All right, we will. Okay, item 8 has been pulled, so we move to agenda item I, City Manager's Report. Oh, excuse me. Took your thunder away, Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and council, I'll go through this pretty quickly. I will say up front that I do not have a significant number of updates based on the activities that occurred last week within our city. So as I'm going through these, by all means, please interrupt me and I will stop and we can talk about that topic. Starting with capital projects, the animal control facility, and I'm going to cover several of these real quick. Animal control facility, senior center facility, municipal court renovation, and fire station number 3 expansion. All of those projects received coal from me during Christmas because they were not complete prior to Christmas. So they got no gift from me. Those projects at this point are still incomplete, but from a staff perspective, we are pushing very hard with those contractors and subcontractors and our team members to accomplish and finish those projects. If you go by and look at those projects, a lot of them are actually, from the exterior, look really good. And so I'm really happy with where we're at from an exterior perspective. But it's not just the exterior, all the interior work still needs to be done and accomplished as well. City park improvements are virtually done. There's still a few more things that need to be finished there, but let's focus on roadway projects. Roadway projects, let's talk about the touchy one first, and that is our local roadways. City Council approved the street maintenance utility fee. That fee is being implemented this month. So our residents will start seeing that fee on our utility bills. And those projects will begin to be defined and begin scoped out in terms of the work that needs to be done so that we can bid those projects out before the mid-year, calendar year. I know that Mr. Osborne and his team, Byrne and his team, I'm so sorry, Scott. See, when I focus on it, it just doesn't come out right. Sorry. But Mr. Osborne and his team have already contacted the engineer that helped us complete our roadway inventory based on the condition of those roadways. And that engineer will be helping us define what those projects are and the work that needs to be done. We will be very public and upfront about what those projects are, the work that needs to be done, so we'll be publishing a lot of that information. There's a significant project that is coming up, and that is the expansion of US 190. I have already reported to council that project was bid out by TxDOT. It was awarded last year, and TxDOT and the contractor have already begun discussions in what is called pre-construction. So before construction begins, they're talking about the project, how it's going to proceed from the beginning of construction to the end. City staff is actually going to be involved in those discussions beginning this week. Just as a reminder, it will be adding 2 additional new separated lanes on the north side of the existing lanes. It will be adding 6 new bridges all the way from the east side of town to the west side of town at FM 2657. And so this will be a very substantial project that will be done. As we learn more about that project, we will be sharing that with you and with the residents as the public information comes out. Another project that is actually currently underway are the ramp construction at State Highway 9 and Tank Destroyer Road and Old Georgetown Road. There was some public information that was released by Fort Hood that was not entirely accurate, and so we've worked with TxDOT, Fort Hood, and our team to obtain that information. They are now including us in those regular updates and discussions on the project itself. But at this point, it is about 13% complete, and there's some dirt that's being moved, material that's being brought in, and so that project will continue, but that project should go pretty quickly because it is not a substantially large project. Other activities, there's a lot of activity going on within our departments, so starting with Parks and Recreation, a lot of youth sports activities. Adult sport activities are also becoming more frequent and more engaging. Over the last sport leagues that we've had nearly record levels of participation. So we are doing really well, but just keep in mind that the more participation we get, the less traditional are the days of play, are the locations of practice, times of games. And so we're really having to stretch out and change what we've done in the past to accommodate those that want to participate in really great programs. We do have had a number of activities scheduled in some of our other departments. Some of those will have to be rescheduled based on the memorial services and planning that we had for Officer Garrettson this past week. But we will be moving forward with some of those. Emergency notifications and preparations, I will encourage every resident, and please encourage everybody you know to sign up for Code Red. The first Code Red message has actually come out today that we've not seen for months. One, that's a good thing because we haven't had major concerns weather-wise, but it is an indication that that system is working. Again, I've previously shared that there was some concern about how that system was functioning, but it is functioning again, and please sign up for those notifications, especially with the winter weather that is coming up. Please be prepared and do not wait till the last moments. Central Texas Water Authority, I know that there's a meeting coming up, so I don't have a whole lot of new information beyond the fact that we have submitted our application for membership. There are fees that the association authority has determined need to be paid, and so we will be working through that process as they consider our application for membership. And then grant statuses, looking through those real quick. Nothing significant, no significant changes in any of those have occurred. And so that'll conclude my report for tonight, Mayor. Subject to any questions the council may have.
Council, any questions? All right. Thank you, Ryan. We move to item J, items for future agendas.
Nothing from me, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Nothing for me, sir.
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
I have nothing, sir. Thank you.
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
I have nothing.
Okay. There is no executive session tonight, so the time is 7:12. We stand adjourned.
Thanks, everyone.